Okay. It is April 1st. I'm aware this is like an April Fool's thing, but I promise you this is not an April Fool's joke. So if you've been watching this channel for like the last 2 weeks, or have even watched the most recent videos, I went to Indiana for my buddy's wedding, and during that 10-day span of being there, I decided to go look for apartments, go look for jobs, and well, this video here, I'm not sure how to put this, because it's good news and it's bad news. So good news is I actually got a job offer doing the exact same stuff I'm doing. The only problem is that people need to understand is that if you're going to be an assistant for a dental office, is that it caps out. Like there's no, like you hit a certain cap and that's about it. Like there is no growing in a sense. So for instance, if it also depends on the state. So for instance, if it's New York, it's going to be probably about between 18 and 30 an hour. I know that's a huge jump, but it depends on what specialty you do. So for instance, regular dentistry could pay up to 26. Orthodontics could pay up to 30. Endodontics could pay up to 35. It all depends. And it all depends on the office, the size of the office, size of the company, blah, 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 blah. Like it's a whole bunch of different factors. So again, it's April 1st. I got a job offer in Indiana, one that I went to, one that I was very satisfied with. The job offer, unfortunately, was $23 an hour, and that was pretty much market cap. I'd hoped to get 24. Now, the reason why I'm okay, or I'm good, I'm glad I got this, but I'm also really sad about it, is because, well, let's start with the good news first. Good news is that I was wanted, and I got the job offer, and they want me as soon as possible, and my references that were doctors from Colorado said amazing things about me, so I got the job. I'll be their first male assistant until further notice, and it gives me a chance to go back to Indiana. Here's the bad news. Bad news, it's the job offer is $23 an hour, which means that essentially take-home pay after taxes per month would be about $2,700 and $2,000, or about high 2,900s, realistically. Which it sucks because obviously, like, I want to make more. I'm glad I do side things and I do YouTube. I'm not saying I make a crap ton of money from my main channel, but it's something. But let's just say this, I wish it was more, because although New York is really expensive and it's only $1 less than what I'm making now, it's cheap over there, but it's not as cheap as people think. I wouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck, which is the good news, because I would never do that. I'm smarter than that. I'm 25 and live at home, which is not something that I want to be doing. I want to get out, get freedom, and experience stuff. Like, it's the time to do it. Either that or you do it when you're super old and then you get a real, like, hit in the face, right? That's why I think it's better to do it now rather than later. So the bad news here is that, again, it's $23 an hour. I wouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck, but realistically, I would have around $1,100 in free money to just kind of do what I want with it per month, which isn't a bad thing. That gets you quite far. That's after groceries and everything, so it's not terrible. But on top of all the other stuff I do, so I mean, I could get an extra $400 or $500 a month plus the bonuses from orthodontics and everything, so it's not terrible. And that, yes, that is per month. I'd be with my buddies, I'd be with family and everything, which would be awesome. I'd be in a state that I want to be in. But yeah, there's I think something that I need to learn is that I'm very grateful for the position I have right now, because to be 25, to live here in my parents' house and pay pretty much like almost no bills, you get a lot of free money. But there's a lot of people in the world that have been out since they've been 18 and whatever, and have been living paycheck to paycheck. So it's like, it's not like I'm a deadbeat. So I'm proud of that. But I mean, let me know in the comments down below what you guys would do. Would you live with your parents as long as possible and then get to, say, late 20s, early 30s, and then move out and then find out everything that's with the real world? Or would you do it now, experiment, be smart with the experiments, and then if things don't work out, you can always move back? Because I also have to worry about school too. Like, how am I going to do school? I'd be working full time. I don't know. I genuinely want to know what y'all's opinion is, because this is something that is actually terrifying me, because although it's great news, it's also very scary news. And my dad's not super on board with it, but my mom was like, you know what, you're 25, you got to do something. She's on board with it because she actually had a lot more faith in me, which is, sad. It's good. But another thing I'll add super quickly is that I have a closer relationship with my mom than I do with my dad. And it's unfortunate to say that, but it's the truth. We never really saw eye to eye. I mean, we get along enough to where it's like we see each other, say hello, that's about it. Me and my mom have full deep on conversations. Like, she was the first person I called when I got that offer. She literally was like, hey, are you excited? Like, this is what you want? I was like, yeah, I am. I'm just scared. And she was walking me through it. And that's one of the things I think is super important, is for people to understand that when you have a kid, or even if you're a parent and you're watching this video, and you see me in my position, always try to encourage your kid to do the best. Offer some opinions, but offer them the best, because I know parents try to look out for their kids, but at the same time, you need to understand that if they're in their mid-20s, maybe later 20s, and they're in this position because, economies are not the best, remember when you were that age, what did you want to do? How did your parents react, Because truthfully, if I had kids and they were my age, or they were 20s and, still living at home, whatever, I would personally say, listen, let's go over some finances. I know you can do it, but I just want you to make sure you're good. So I'd support them. Because support is really all you need. As long as you have the mental support, you're fine. I get there's people saying out there that you have the, just prove them wrong type of mentality. Totally understand that. It's definitely worth having. But let's be realistic too. So, I'm sorry this video is a little bit longer, but genuinely I wanted to make sure people understand that this position that I'm in is very scary, but it gives me super, super great happiness. But if you're in this position too, again, comment down below, what would you do? Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, and I mean, I'm gonna continue this channel and just see where it gets me, and then you guys will follow along. So pray for me. This is gonna be huge.